What's the haps? I'm Meroka and welcome back to SkySaga! At long last, we are in Alpha 4. Alpha 4 is finally upon us. I found a rogue with scribble out in the wilderness somewhere.
A wild scribble appears.
It uses halberd. Halberd is super effective. So we've got a lot of new toys, including, indeed, the halberd. So we're gonna go for a bit of a wander around the world and show you what's new. First and foremost, welcome to my home island. It's really impressive. I hope you like it. I built it all by hand, block by block. It took a lot of work. And I hope you appreciate the hard work I went to.
Oh, you tease.
No, this is the new community hub, the social hub, indeed. In fact, it's in the top corner, so I can't really hide it too well. In the top corner of the screen, it says the social hub. This is where people gather and meet and frolic and have fun and have a bit of a dance and talk to each other. And there's a bunch of new stuff, so let's go for a wander. Where to first?
I think the Explorers Guild is probably...
it is the first port of call for a lot of people. In fact, there's a quest that directs you up there, so everybody ends up here kind of fairly early on. So up here on top of the mountain, where all the green flags are, is now the Explorers Guild, where previously there was just a bunch of really bloody arcane quests that were really difficult to complete to level up your exploring. Now we have a place for all exploring goodness and exploratory things. Got a chap in the goggles over here. He is our Explorer Quest Master, I guess. I don't know what his actual title is. Bob. He's Bob.
Quest Giver.
Quest Giver
Bob.
Of
quests.
Yes. So, I've taken all today's quests, so there isn't there. But normally there would be 5 quests there, and you can see some of them in my quest list over here. So, a bunch of them, there's Hand in a Mark of the Desert, which is an exotic and difficult to acquire item. Complete Desert Adventures, which should be a hint as to what is to come. Discover landmarks in mountain adventures, defeat 15 enemies. They're a little bit more reasonable than some of the previous quests you got. The last quests were kind of arbitrary. It was stuff like, here, collect items that drop once in a blue moon from a very rare enemy, and get 10 of them. It was like, that never happens. God damn it.
To be fair, I've got some Settlers quests that I have no idea how to complete. So I haven't seen these items drop yet.
Well, okay, yeah, there's still a little bit of an issue of that, but they're a bit more attainable. So, yeah, Explorers certainly definitely seem to be doable. Settler requires a bit more work on your part. And then when you level up, if I press Q, we've got all the leveling up is beneath the quest interface down here. So I've got level 4 in settling, level 7 in exploring, and none in gladiator because that's PvP, and PvP is not yet happening. But when you level up, once those XP meters fill up, you get these tokens, which is a currency which can be traded in at these particular shops. And they have some exciting things. Like that, I always wanted that. There's got small survivalist chest recipe there for 10 tokens, which is actually kind of a lot of tokens. But that is a chest I always really wanted. But in Alpha 3, I was like, I really wish there was a way to make that. I've not seen it. I never saw any recipe that even sort of hinted that you might be able to make that. I always really wanted that one. So, yay, I can make it now. Well, maybe, if I'm willing to spend a lot of a fairly rare currency on it.
Well, to be fair, there's not a whole lot in this shop yet, so there's not a lot to choose from.
Well, are you sure? I could buy like 90 raw goat with my currency.
Oh, that tasty raw goat.
Raw goat. There are the Desert Guardian gloves and Desert Guardian boots. They're even more expensive, and I think they're probably easier to get elsewhere. I'm sure you can get the recipe for them somewhere. But they are good. It's apparently a balance of heat protection and combat resistance, so desert attire, really. They've got a hatchet recipe. I don't know how good that is. I mean, there's a few items in the game that sort of hint that they're used for stuff that isn't really just combat. I mean, indeed, in my hand I've got a butcher's knife. So I'm wondering if a hatchet just cuts down trees more effectively than any other tool.
Possibly.
Again, that's quite a lot of tokens to spend on something just for cutting down trees. But
I have the recipe. I've not made one yet.
Oh, well,
this is something I should do.
You need to report back, yes, for science and whatnot.
For science.
I suppose next on the tour, since it's kind of en route, we've now got the trading section. Yup. And break my ankles on the way down. Oh yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, the health meter is totally different. Where there were once hearts, now there's sort of a continuous meter, which means it is more fine-grained. It still functions pretty much exactly as the same way it used to, insofar as you kind of got the 2 different levels, and you have to use a campfire you have to eat food and then use a campfire to actually refill it properly. But You actually have a health meter rather than just hearts now. I don't know, maybe they just didn't want to be too Minecrafty.
Well, also at the moment, armor doesn't seem to be affecting your health bar like it did in the last alpha, so...
Well, it doesn't have a visual effect.
No.
So, kind of hard to say what, if anything, it's doing. I mean, none of the items still have any numbers on them, so you've still got no real way of gauging anything.
Nope.
There's no visual cue to tell you actually what the armor does. All we can assume is that it's probably better than not wearing armor. So I've got a bunch of sorry, go on.
I'm assuming all the metals are kind of at the same value at the moment, but I'm hoping they will be varied later.
Yeah, that's kind of the conclusion we've kind of come to, which is there are 3 kind of new-ish sort of metals. Certainly the Verdonite, which you're rocking on the gloves and the boots quite nicely there, sir.
Yes.
That's pretty much like exclusive to Forest Worlds, I think. Then you got the yellow metal, like used to be gold, is now Sunsteel, now exclusive to Desert Worlds? Question mark? Yeah.
Yep.
And then the blue, which I myself am rocking, is now Frost Steel, which I guess used to be... What was it? Was it Blue Steel?
Blue Steel, yeah.
Yeah, the Blue Steel is now Frost Steel, and I guess exclusive to the Snowy Worlds, or Mountain Worlds, whatever you want to call them.
Indeed.
So yeah, now we've got independent vendors. So let's have a look what they're selling. So this guy is, as you can see at the bottom, available for 2 hours, 29 minutes. These kind of change every day. So at the minute he's selling Bandit Chief Helmet, Palace Guard Armor, Warlock Armor, Wolf Breastplate, Metal Halberd, which is indeed the weapon you're running around. The big sharp one. Yeah, that thing.
I like this.
I like it as well. I'm glad you bought the recipe so that you could make it for me, so that I didn't have to spend any money.
Yes.
The money does seem to be a bit more abundant in Alpha 4, because obviously these prices in Alpha 3 would be kind of steep. It would take you a long time to get that much money.
Oh, definitely.
Whereas it's kind of taken us a few days to get that much money here. It's not really too big a deal. So moving on, what else we got for sale? We have got... we've got a boomkin standing on my head, and we've got a vendor of the keystones. That's what they're called. That's kind of... Firstly, it's kind of interesting as far as there are now keystones for specific kind of levels. So Gold Runner Mine, I think people will be familiar with from Alpha 3. And now you can just buy a specific keystone to go to Gold Runner Mine if you really like that place. Then we got a bunch of other stuff. There's Tempest Holds, which is a hard white adventure, I guess. I don't recall ever having done that. I'm not sure. I don't know whether I ever did or not. We've got Nightfall Fortress is obviously one of the new deserty ones, so that's exciting, as is Sunridge Palace. That's a desert one as well. And in case you really wanted the really easy, like really super common green one, for 1,000 knots you can buy the Crystal Caves, if you're really strange and want to do that.
Yeah.
I've got a vendor here who's going to mostly sell materials if you're really, really, really desperate for some particular coloured materials. For a few... to be fair, they're pretty cheap. The materials are not expensive. For a few knots, you can grab those. For the deeds, the things that change the name of your home islands, those are now kind of rare. Those don't... I haven't seen any drop from any of the dungeons yet. I don't know about you.
I had one, and it was home. My island is already called home. This is null and void.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, for 15,000 you can now buy a bunch of them here. Those are all kind of... These are kind of the bland, basic ones. There was, at the start of Alpha 4, a more exotic vendor that sold some fairly exotic stuff up here in this building. And they had some interesting deeds that had stuff like Bastion and things in there. I can't remember what the prices were. I don't know if you can. Were they the same price?
I think it was more expensive.
I think they're fairly expensive, to be fair. But the vendor is gone. They were stood here. And they were like, hello, I want to sell you things. And they're kind of not now. So, I don't know what happened there. Did you hit them with your halberd? Is that what happened?
I may have intimidated him, and he fled.
Oh, okay. Well...
I am now your vendor.
Right, fine. Sell me a title for a Bastion. give me that Bastion.
I'll get right on writing that script for you.
Okay, cool.
Out of fruit.
Right, your banana script. What else we got? There's a few more vendors we haven't looked at. This one I like. This one has recipes for building furnitures and things. It has windows. There are windows. There are windows. This is the most important change in Alpha 4. There are now windows. They cost 9,000 bloody knots just for the recipe. I don't know that I can justify 9,000 knots for a window recipe, but I really, really want windows in my base. That's all I know. And then on the other side, we've got a vendor that sells metals, so there's all our stuff. So we've got Sky Iron, we've got Sun Steel, we've got Rose Iron, which we don't know where you get that yet. We haven't seen that in the wild.
No, we haven't.
So, I mean, it's still in the game, it's still sat there, you can buy it from a vendor, but which worlds actually have it in for you to dig up? Who the hell knows?
I'm still presuming that if metals have a rank, this is the strongest metal so far.
I guess it could be. I mean, if we're assuming Sunsteel, Froststeel, and Verdonite are roughly equivalent, maybe a little bit different in some stats, I don't know, but roughly equivalent to each other, then yeah. I mean, if nothing else, Sunsteel sells 10 for 200 knots and Rose Iron sells 10 for 300 knots, which suggests it's, better. So that's a good start to begin with. But yeah, kind of hard to tell. Is this all the vendors? Have we seen them all?
I think that's it. Oh no, we haven't gone to the Settlers Guild. The vendor there.
Oh right, yeah. I was just talking about the sort of the shopping section, the mall, if you will. Okay, let's head on up to here. This is the Settlers. This is where people will settle things, which I guess is kind of what would it be? It's kind of a hybrid of what used to be architecture and blacksmithing, I guess.
It kind
of fits both bills. Yeah, I've got two. I've got one for hand in 3 windows. God damn it.
Brilliant.
And hand in 1 blue desert survival armor, which requires God only knows where I would get the recipe for that. But yeah, it kind of really does have that issue of sometimes there are quests that would require you to own a very specific and fairly exotic recipe that you just won't have. So, I mean, those are green glass windows, and actually the recipe at the vendor was actually a 2 tall window, which is an entirely different window and a different recipe, and wouldn't count towards the quest if I were to do it. So that's no good to me either. Even if I were to drop 9,000 knots on just trying to complete one single settler quest, if I was that desperate to do it, no good. But yeah. I've got 3 more slightly more viable ones, which one hand in 3 white candles, which I suppose that's another notable change. All the things in the world, when you go on adventures, they don't drop items anymore. Anything that's kind of containery tends to drop money. Anything else just straight up breaks, really. There's very few things in the world that actually drop anything, so you can't get candles by smashing up candles anymore, and you can't get candles by killing miners anymore? Did miners have candles?
Not that I'm aware of.
I thought they did. Okay, no, not miners then. Wherever you got... Candles were rare before, and now you can actually craft them. So, that's a thing. We've got the Verdonite, obviously the new green one, and 10 Sky Steels. I've got those as quests as well to hand in. I kind of don't want to hand those in because those are rare materials.
Yeah, I've got a quest for handing in 15 Sunsteel.
I'm not too bad on the Verdonite. If for handing 15 Verdonite, I could do that. 10 Sky Steel. I have not got 10 Sky Steel lying around. And Settler's Shop is what you can buy. Same process. You will get tokens by leveling it up, and from there you can buy recipes to make stone wall decorations, pestle and mortars, traders' chests, young wood, which is a kind of a greeny wood. Actually, in retrospect, now that I think about things,
ooh, it would go well with the Verdonite. Possibly.
Are you thinking for a halberd?
Yes.
I was thinking for a halberd. Good. And there's also blind stone, which I guess used to be the black stone. Now it is blind. Yeah, they've kind of renamed most of the stones from just colours or from real world things to be a bit more exotic and fantasy. And pretty much everything has just become a bit more exotic and fantasy, and kind of, I think they're trying to stray away from real world terms for things. Seems to be the way of things.
We have no issue with this at all.
No, it's cool. You've got new things. I have a new shield. I've got one of these things.
It's a very nice shield.
That is a heater shield that dropped from an enemy, and I quite like having it. And, oh yeah, they've changed the third-person camera, so I can't show it off very well. So the character will pretty much always face forward now, so where before it kind of had a sort of lazy drift around, now it doesn't. I suppose I could flip... Oh, no. God damn it. I just flipped the camera in when I was doing the crafting menu, and my character turned around. It's like, oh, damn it. So there you go. That's what one of those is. As you've seen, we have some ridiculous halberds, which are just amazing. And oh, I have a butcher's knife. That's exciting. Butcher's knife is pretty exciting.
I have shears.
Shears are also exciting, yes.
Which I can use as a sword. Why I would hit things with scissors, I'll never know.
Well, I can hit them with my butcher's knife as well, so between us, we can collect every part of the sheep.
No waste here.
Basically. Yeah. I've got nothing else in my inventory that's terribly exciting, I don't think. I've got a helmet that dropped from a bandit, but it's a really boring-looking one. However, cosmetics ahoy, there are a bunch of cosmetics around in the game. As you already saw at one of the vendors anyway. Ooh, there's stained glass. Stained glass pretty. See, that's why I want the windows. The windows look really nice.
I'd like it if you could place them horizontally, like a skylight.
Oh, right. Oh, like a flat kind of window. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. I've not seen anything of the sort, but go tell Radiant Worlds to implement that.
Yes.
Over here on this freaking badass structure, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
This is where PvP, I guess, will be. PvP now being gladiatoring. There was at one point a vendor stood here that sold you some PvP type things. And he is also gone. So, don't know what happened to him. It must be the rapture, basically, I think. That's the only explanation. So, yeah, this is where there is a PvP post up here. So, where previously you had to go through like some weird quest to unlock a PvP post to put in your house, now you can just come to the social hub and ta-da, here's a PvP post. Again, I'm pretty sure there used to be a dude stood in front of it, and there's some weird bug where just once in a blue moon you kind of get the icons for the people that would be here kind of flicker into existence and then disappear like really quickly. They only appear for like a fraction of a second. It's like, you can see there's supposed to be something there, but the game's having trouble figuring out what the heck it is, I think. So, hopefully that, well, I guess the PvP post works, so that's pretty much it. I guess you could kind of want the quest giver, I suppose. That would probably be useful to have. So hopefully by the time this reaches the public, because we're still in a very, very exclusive kind of place here, by the time this reaches the public, hopefully they've got the NPCs kind of actually figured out. It's just very cool that they actually have NPCs at all now. NPCs are awesome. So now you can go make progress on things, and it'll be great. And then there's a big giant laser in the middle. We've kind of neglected pointing out the big giant laser in the middle. It's kind of a big deal.
It is rather an elephant in the room, isn't it?
I don't know what it does, other than be really goddamn impressive.
Powers this rockin' sky island.
It's not connected to the island though. So how would that work?
That's how magical it is.
It's so magical it can levitate many thousands of tons of rock and steel without even touching it.
Yep.
That's pretty magical. Okay.
It's Keystone. Power of Keystone.
It is the power of Keystone. Fair enough. All I will say is I really, really hope they at some point let us actually build out this material. Because this material is really cool. It is the stuff you get around your own Keystone portal and you can't break it anyway, so yeah. But it's cool. That's probably about the bulk of it. Did you... Oh, you went into the big dragon mouth thing. I thought you fell off the island then.
No, I just wanted to see all those red smokes, but I think I can actually get to this from the ship.
Yes, you can. It's a bit of a convoluted kind of catacomby kind of structure thing that they've got going on, but you can get around it. It is a complete ship, and it's navigable.
I'm liking the different coloured smokes and lighting effects.
Oh, yeah, that is another thing as well. Depending on the type of wood you use to make a torch, you get different lighting effects. So I've been carrying around these white torches now. which is made out of white wood, which you get from deserts. So if you make a torch out of that, you get you get white.
I've been using vanilla groundwood.
Fair enough. I got kind of sick of lighting my house by sort of orange light in Alpha 3. I kind of hated how everything looked, so the fact that you can actually now use a white light to give everything kind of a more neutral colour, I kind of like that. I dig that.
I may have to dig through all my woods and make some new ones.
I want... There is still the purple wood, which is now king wood instead of root wood. So would that make a purple torch? That might make a purple torch.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. So, yeah, I guess that's probably most of what the social hub has to offer. I think we're definitely going to show you around some desert worlds, because desert worlds are kind of the big deal, I suppose. But that can wait for another video. We've been here long enough, I guess. We've been here a while. There's a lot of new things, a lot of new cosmetics, a lot of new furniture that you can build. Some of it's probably going to take a bit of work to get, but there's a lot of cool stuff. The game's looking fantastic now. I'm loving it.
Yes.
Adding some great new stuff. But that'll do us for now. That's a bit of a glimpse into some of the stuff that's in Alpha 4, and there's much more to behold yet. But we'll bring you that in another video in the very near future. So, thank you very much for watching, and thank you for joining me for this.
Thank you.
I have been John, this has been Scribble, and we shall see you next time.
Indeed. Cheery bye.